Hello everyone, and welcome to the Shooting Stars presentation on meteorites. Over the next several minutes, we will review how we came to decide, design, and develop this lesson plan. We will also discuss how we plan to evaluate our students on their work. This slide contains an example of the DDD-E model, which includes the four components of decide, design, develop, and evaluate. During the decide phase, the team decides on the project goal, brainstorms, and does research for their topic. The design phase has the team generating flowcharts and storyboards, while the develop phase includes animation, audio, graphics, and video. Evaluation is done throughout the process and changes should be made as necessary. We will begin our presentation by discussing the decide phase. The following slides will review the project we selected, the standards we wish to address, our objectives, and the lesson goal. Before we begin our presentation, we wanted to show an example of an animation that one of our teammates created. Animations and screen captures can be used to keep the students engaged. Third grade lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to describe physical characteristics of the meteorites, create a list of descriptions of the meteorites, and use some vocabulary terms describing meteorite characteristics as they write a short fictional story of their own about a meteorite. The Pennsylvania state standards for our project include 3.1.4c1, identify and make observations about patterns that regularly occur and reoccur in nature, 3.2.4a2, provide clear explanations that account for observations and results, and 3.2.4b2, use observations to develop a descriptive vocabulary. The multimedia and technology standards addressed in this project are ask and answer questions about the text and make inferences from text, refer to text to support responses, read with accuracy and fluency to support comprehension, write informative explanatory text to examine a topic and convey ideas and information clearly, develop the topic with facts, definition, details, and illustrations as appropriate, and use digital media to enhance a content-specific work product. The National Educational Technology Standards we've included are creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, research and information fluency, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making, digital citizenship, and technology operations and concepts. The lesson goal of our project is that children will learn and understand about our solar system and the phenomena of meteorites.
The following 6 slides will discuss the design phase of our DDD-E model. Here we have our flowchart, which provides an overview of our lesson plan on meteorites. The following few slides will provide the lesson plan broken down even further by day. On day 1, students will begin the lesson by listening to the story of Noblesville Fall read out loud by the teacher. Students will then be asked to make predictions about the stone as the first passage is read. As they listen to the story, students will also be asked to make predictions about what they think the boys will do next and what they think might happen. Students will then watch the slideshow of meteorites, which will provide information on characteristics of meteorites and vocabulary terms, which will be the primary focus of this lesson. At the beginning of day 2, students will work in teams of 2 and use their laptops to explore the website listed below. On this website, students will learn how to identify a meteorite, learn characteristics of meteorites, and learn meteorite terminology. Continuing with day 2, students will take notes on the certain descriptions and characteristics as well as vocabulary terms that they used on the website. After they're done exploring online on the website, students will take about 10 minutes to go outside and explore the area around their school, looking for rocks, pebbles, and other stones found outside near the playground on the grass that resemble a meteorite. With their partner, students will document their findings on paper, listing the characteristics they have noticed in the rocks they found. On day 3, students will continue their lesson by coming back into the classroom and using the list of vocabulary characteristics and terms that they have learned and they will write a fictional short story with their partner. They will draw a picture to accompany their writing, and then all writing will be shared with the class via a PowerPoint or an online storyboard. As part of a take-home lesson, students will keep a blog at kidblog.org on what they notice in the sky at night and on the ground around their home. Students will record what they discover, and then they can visit the website www.spacesimulator.com to further this lesson.
Welcome to the develop phase. This is the phase to be creative and innovative to find ways to engage the students. The develop phase consists of animation, audio, video, and graphics. By utilizing these tools, you are creating an innovative and interesting lesson for your students. It was 7 p.m. and early dusk on the summer evening of August 31st, 1991. In the small town of Noblesville, Indiana, two boys, 13-year-old Brody Spalding and 9-year-old Brian Kinsey, had just finished riding bikes and were standing talking on Brody's lawn. Suddenly, they heard a low-pitched whistling sound. Then, Brian saw an object spinning through the air past Brody. The object landed with a thud on the ground, 4 meters from them, and rocked as it landed. The boys picked up the object, which appeared to be a stone, and found that it was slightly worn. It had made a hole 5 centimeters deep in the lawn where it landed. They looked around and couldn't find anyone who might have thrown the stone. What Brody and Brian did was take the stone inside to Brody's parents. They decided to call nearby Purdue University. The mystery was solved a few days later when a Purdue professor confirmed that the rock was a meteorite. The boys let the scientists have a small portion of the meteorite for scientific studies. Today, although meteorite dealers have offered them several $1,000s to buy the meteorite, the boys still own it. The boys learned that meteorites are very special rocks that have fallen to Earth after traveling through the solar system. They provide clues for scientific detectives to solve the mysteries of our early solar system, the origin of the planets, and the beginning of life itself. This graphic was created by one of my team members. We thought this was a creative graphic to begin our slideshow. As you can see, it has characteristics of a meteorite and what is not a meteorite. This slide is a sample of what our meteorite slideshow would consist of. During the slideshow, we would explain characteristics of a meteorite and show many different pictures to demonstrate what a meteorite looks like coming into the Earth and once it has landed on the ground. This slide is an animation video created by one of my team members. This slide is to show students that there are many different creative things that they can do for their own projects. This final slide is a video capture by one of my team members teaching the students how to access the Kid Blog site in order for them to keep blogs of the meteorites that they may find around their home.
We're now going to discuss how to make a post onto the Kid Blog website. So you're going to want to go to the top bar and type in kidblog.org/Miss Hackett's class-2. And then what's going to happen is you're going to need to log in. So you're going to select your name. So for now, for this example, I'll do student 1 and type in the password. Once you're in here, you're going to go to new post and you're going to put whatever it is your topic is or thing you would like to discuss in here. So you're going to want to put a title. So I'll do what I did today, and then I'll put today I went for a long drive. Obviously you're going to put more detail. I'd prefer that you have at least 3 to 4 sentences in your post. You can hit the save draft and preview it if you'd like. Otherwise just hit publish. It'll come up saying that you have now written a blog entitled What I Did Today, and people will be able to leave you comments. So it'll show up under your blogs, and then when you go to all blogs, it'll say that it's new and students will be able to go ahead and write comments, and you will also be able to find their posts here as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, but I look forward to reading all of your posts.
As our textbook, Multimedia Projects in Education tells us, the evaluation of multimedia projects is both formative and summative. As we are aware, formative assessment happens throughout the entire project. Summative assessment will happen at the end of the project. Both types can and should be done by the teacher and the students. The benefit of the ongoing assessment is the constant feedback which can be used to modify and perfect the project. For our project, we realized that there are several points throughout the process where the students and teacher would be able to provide feedback and assess the progress. Listed on this slide are the places throughout the creation of the project where assessment and feedback can definitely be done. After the reading of the story of Noblesville Fall, assessment should be done concerning the brainstorming session. Here, the teacher can reflect upon students' knowledge and determine if students have demonstrated understanding. The blog should be used as an assessment point where the teacher can look at students' understanding of material. At this point in the project, students should be using proper vocabulary and terms in order to describe their observation and experiences. The final project should be used as a summative assessment at the end of the project. Here the teacher will reflect upon the students' presentations, which should use an online storyboard or PowerPoint and include plenty of meaningful information to demonstrate their comprehension and mastery of the lesson goal and objectives. As a guide for these assessments, the teacher should reference a rubric. Rubrics should be used throughout the process to provide feedback and benchmarks for measuring the progress being made. Rubrics are great because they are a reference point, and as Chapter 7 of the text says, they can serve as a grade contract. Rubrics provide the teacher and students with a clear picture of what needs to be included in the project. Here you see the rubric that is being created to assess the meteorite project. The rubric lets students know they will be assessed on 6 different assignments along the way. An important part of using the rubric is to allow for self-reflection. It is very important that students are able to reflect upon their progress. Using the rubric as a guide, there is no reason why students should not be aware of the expectations for this project. Hopefully at the end of this carefully planned process, the students will have demonstrated a newfound appreciation and understanding of the goals and objectives. Following the DDD-E process, the assignments created should be filled with meaningful, informative information and tools that will result in a well-rounded project.